What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on this upcoming. They're having a meeting, and where they'll be deciding like if they're going to strike or not. I think it's going to be this Friday, October the 31st. Let me see if it's Friday, October the 31st, because the thing is, now I know that the commissioner, what's his name, Silver, the NBA commissioner Silver, came out a little while ago and said that these women will be going to get significant raises, and he made it seem like that there was then like the deal was almost done, but now people are saying that they're not even close to like to an agreement between the players and the WNBA, right? They're not even close. So the numbers, and I posted the numbers in a video, and I think like the base pay was like 750,000, right? Something like that. And it was probably like about like 3 or 4 times. And then the max pay was like around $1 million. So it was up. The numbers were like triple what they were already getting, except for the base pay. I think base pay for WNBA players is like 70 something $1,000, like $78,000. That's going to go way up. That's going to go way up. But whatever the numbers are, the WNBA players are not happy with those numbers. And so what I think the WNBA tried to do, Adam Silver and this lady, Kathy Engelbert, what they tried to do is try to say, well, all right, well, we trying as hard as we can. We put these numbers out there. We made an offer to them, and now we have to, I don't know, the young ladies, they're turning it down. That's not enough for them. But I think both sides are playing games. I think that if there's a lockout or if there's a strike, the strike will, it will hurt both sides either way. Like if they lock out or if they strike, it's going to hurt the players and it's going to hurt the WNBA. Now, the only person that is going to benefit, in my opinion, the person that's going to benefit either way is probably going to be Caitlin Clark, right? And I think if they go on strike, either way, Caitlin Clark is going to get her money. If they go on strike, if the she's that's not really going to affect her too much because she already got her deals and stuff, and she's going to get a pay upgrade, right? Now if the NBA locks them out, then what will happen, I think what's going to happen is, don't forget, you have different leagues at play now. You got this European league with the possibility of offering Caitlin Clark up to $100 million. So if they go on strike, she could leave and go to this other league. And if they lock out, she can leave and go to this other league. Now, if Caitlin Clark was to leave and go to a European league for a crazy amount of money, what's going to happen is that wouldn't directly destroy the WNBA. But what'll happen is you'll see other stars do the same thing. Like they will follow her because of the money, because if this other European league is talking about paying crazy amounts of money, then this is going to cause them to follow. Some of the stars from the WNBA is going to follow Caitlin Clark. And it's not going to hurt the WNBA players because now you have streaming. So those games can be shown all over the world. So her fans will be able to still see her get to play basketball because now you have those games can be streamed all over the world. So the WNBA they got to be concerned about that, like losing their best players to the European League. And then also, again, what that would do to the WNBA is once that league gets established, a European league gets established, and they're using US talent, and they're using basically talent from all over the world, the best talent from all over the world. The WNBA now is going to, if they want to merge, they might have to merge with this, with this new league that's starting up, just like the NBA did with the ABA. because there's still some, as far as the WNBA is concerned, like there's still some room for expansion, some room for growth. They only have right now in the WNBA, they only have 13 teams. But if the WNBA game goes to, if it goes international, which I think they will have to do in order to, number one, to make that revenue, to have appeal, then if they go international, then they're going to need, they're going to want more teams. You're going to have, um, because it's so much demand now that 13 teams is not going to be able to meet that demand. 13 teams, and then they play like what 42 games or something like that. So they'll have a longer season. I bet you within the next few years they'll have longer seasons. Then they will have, probably play a few more games, longer season, and you're gonna have more players from around the world wanting to play in whichever one of these leagues is paying the most money, and whichever one of these leagues is the best. So that's what a lockout or a strike would do. I think that would just drive Caitlin Clark over to that European league and say, well, I'm playing. And then a lot of players are gonna they're gonna follow her. They probably, the European League will probably, they'll have leverage, more leverage than to expand their league or either merge with the WNBA. But so what the WNBA has to do to avoid that is to make sure that no strike or no lockout happens. If a lockout happens or a strike, like I said, then that puts the WNBA in an even business, from a business standpoint. It just makes them have to work harder to regain, the dominance in the sport, or, to be like the number one women's league in the world. That'll give them some competition. Now, what how I think it would hurt the players that are already in the league, it'll put them out of work for a while. Then they have to worry about, like, all right, this new market is starting up. So now they're going to have to go and find other jobs in a whole nother market. Now I'm not talking about the star players. They'll be able to, but now they'll have, the ones who are not star players on these teams that have to compete for their job in a whole nother league, because now this other league is going to attract the best players from around the world. Then you got more college players coming in. So this going to be so it's not so cut and dry for the NBA, the WNBA players who are already in the league, feeling like they have they have all the leverage, or that they feel like they have, they got a hand up on the WNBA. I think they're playing a dangerous game, but they have advisors and everything, so I guess they know what they're doing. I just think that a strikeout hurts the players. And I think the strikeout, a lockout hurts the players, and a lockout hurts the WNBA. They need, especially the WNBA, if they don't want to have to merge or compete with a European league, then they got to make a deal happen, And if they don't want to lose Caitlin Clark to one of these teams, to a league in Europe, they definitely going to have to, they're going to have to merge, because that is digging more of a hole. It's putting them more behind the eight ball, So to me, that, that's one thing that they had to consider. And I don't know. Basically, that's all I got on that. I just want to know what people think about this. I want to know: do you think that Caitlin Clark has all the leverage? And if so, tell me how you think she has the leverage. If you don't think she has leverage, let me know. And with that being said, don't forget to leave a comment, and I will check you all out in the next video. Peace.